We've talked a little bit about, both the office and the patient benefits, but tell me, how does Optikam benefit both a new and an established practice?
Well, for new practice, it's paramount to have this. I mean, you don't want to open up an office and use a logbook, taking your appointments and using a tangent screen in your pretest area. You want to make sure the patient comes in and sees that you have state of the art equipment, and you want it to coincide through the whole office, not stop at the optical. And for the more, for the offices that are established, so years ago, it was only it wasn't affordable for everybody, but now it's affordable for everybody. So it doesn't matter if you're, a practice that's been around for a long time. And I always find it interesting when I get an optician that has been in the field for a while, and they're hesitant because they say I can do it the way I've been doing it for the past 30 years and think that's successful. But you look at business, the status quo approach in any business is not the best approach. You always want to seem progressive. You always want to be, ahead of the curve. Not that electronic measurements at this point, 17 years or 20 years that you're ahead of the curve, but you don't want to be left behind. So it's good for every practice, from your new opening practice or from a practice that's been existing for a while.
Can Optikam be used on any iPad or tablet, and should it be available at each measuring station?
So this is limited to any iPad. So there are certain features that are only available on the newer iPad Pro models. So those iPad Pros have a specific type of camera, the LiDAR camera, which does enable the no device measurement feature, which allows users to take measurements without attaching the device to the frame. But separate of that, the app can be operated on any iPad. Certainly for the best user experience, we do recommend one of the newer models in the last 2 years or so.
As far as is the measuring stations, do they need to
Oh,
have one at each measuring station?
we strongly encourage that. In order to use the software, the technology to its fullest capability, meaning not just for measurements, but also for frame selection and also for the lens demonstrations, we strongly equip each optician or each fitting station to be equipped with an iPad and the corresponding software. This, otherwise, if the opticians are passing it back and forth, there's no way for one optician to be taking a measurement while another optician is visually demonstrating the benefit of a non-glare coating. And you don't want, of course, patients to wait. You don't want it to slow down that workflow. And again, because the way we've set up the cost, we've structured it in a way that encourages that.
I don't want, as an optician, I don't want to wait on Jerry to take measurements because I got to show some amazing features of what this patient's lens is going to look like. So I don't want to sit around waiting on that to happen and try to make small talk with the patient, in between that.
When
We
talking
was
to a potential account, we have that conversation, and I could understand how it may come across as a sales tactic on our end, but it truly is just for a successful implementation. On the very rare cases that we have an account that isn't 100% satisfied, it nearly always comes back to that. It's a large, busy practice with 3 doctors, 5 or 6 opticians, and they want to test it out and get one iPad. And it just doesn't work because, again, like you said, optician is not going to wait for an iPad to be available to take that measurement. They're going to revert to that manual measurement. And we strongly encourage, for that reason, each fitting station to be equipped.
And that's what we say, that your patient experience, having that patient come in every time at your office, should be treated the same way. And this is not a measuring tool. This is a full dispensing system. So if you're ordering it's not a replacement for a pupillometer. It's a replacement for everything that you use in your optical for that patient to have a very unique and progressive experience.